pounds of clay B-mix.
And this will be the top of the pickle jar.
Right. I'm going to do the same thing where I just kind of get it to about 7 inches before I open it.
So 7 inches wide again,
Yeah.
and we're going for another, how tall?
This will be about the same, about 5 inches tall, because I wanted about a 10-inch pot.
So that extra material will go to that thick gallery.
Yes.
So that's why we have the extra, so it'll be the same height, but then have the thick
Yeah,
lip.
because when we start pulling it up, we're gonna not pull all the way. So let me just check this.
Okay.
So we're almost to 7. And again, the only difference this time is we're gonna go all the way down to the back,
Okay.
because we want it to be hollow, of course.
So we're making a cylinder.
We're basically making a cylinder with almost like a planter rim on it to start with, and then we'll create the gallery. So I'm going to go right down to the back.
Yep, there it is.
Yep, and then I'm just going to start opening. And if this starts coming up, you just push it back down.
So are you kind of curling your fingers under
I am.
that clay? Yeah. That might really help to pull it out.
Yeah, and if it feels like this feels like it went a little bit center, so I'm just going to push it towards center to get it back on. And I'm going to actually check this because it's hollow. I don't want to open it all the way up to 7 wide. So I don't think that's 7. Let's see. Yeah, we're like 5. So I'm going to just do that same thing where I go down.
So you're opening it really from the bottom,
Yes.
not the whole side.
Yeah, and it's mainly because of the hollow, because I don't want it to fall off or, you know, come unattached.
Right. And it's easier to move the bottom of the clay rather than the whole thing.
Yep. So now I'm just gonna kind of do a pull and make sure, because I feel like this is a little bit off center. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, no, it's back on center. So I'm just gonna do a pull, just like I did for the other one. And then I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay, so you brought it toward the middle to
Toward
keep
the
it
middle,
from
and look at
winging
this-
out and
look at that
leaving.
piece right here.
And how big do you think that chunk is at the top?
I'd say, let's see, I'm thinking it's probably about an inch.
Inch across, an inch down, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Because we need it to be a pretty deep well. Yeah, about an inch by an inch.
Okay, so the rim is an inch by an inch.
And then I'm just going to push it in like I did the other one, just to keep everything under control. Plus, from the ones I've kind of seen, I started looking at the German pots. They have kind of a narrower open.
Which is probably good when you're trying to contain all that.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a
Vinegar.
gas thing.
Yeah.
You know, the air.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pull and then I'll stop right when I get to that rim.
And since I sat back down, are you using your sponge again?
I am using my sponge. And,
Okay, and your fingers on the inside.
and I'm going to... And then I'm going to check this to see where we are. We just come over here.
We're keeping good social distancing,
Yes.
so I'm moving out of the way.
Yeah, so I just need to come in about right there. So I need to pull up just a little bit more because I want the edge of the bottom to line up with the edge of that when we join them together.
So edge to edge.
Edge to edge, because it just makes life a lot easier if they're the same. And think about like that 1/2 inch thickness on the bottom.
So you're throwing this thicker than you normally go for on a pot.
Yeah, oh yeah, because this is a crock. Think about those heavy pickling crocks that you see at Ace. Those things are really heavy for a reason. And it's mainly the insulation. And then this feels like it came a little bit off center to me, so I'm just gonna let the wheel go around a couple times to get it back on center.
So you're letting the clay and the wheel do the work.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna just see where we are height-wise. So we're right almost at 5, and I'm going to 5 underneath the gallery.
5
So it's
underneath.
5, yeah, so it's like 5 to right here.
So it's probably almost 6 in all.
Probably, I'll do a measurement once I just need it to go up like a quarter of an inch. And then I'm gonna actually do a rim to rim down here, just because I want that to be real, or not rim to rim.
Rib to rib.
Rib to rib.
Rib to
That's it.
rib.
Rib to rib. So I'm just gonna go up.
And you have the wooden rib on the inside?
Yeah, and I've got them kind of like going like this.
Oh, let me get a little. Oh, so 2 wooden ribs,
Yeah, so I'm
not
doing-
the blue.
So
Ah.
because we're doing a straight pull, so I'm just doing
Ah. That's new,
yeah.
at least to me.
Well, yeah, I just was like, no, how am I going to do that? So it's really compressed down there. Because,
And that would fit better underneath, because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're trying to do the rib to rib and your rib's too big.
yep. And then I'm just going to kind of come back up here. And I like it to be a little angled right there. It's just a style thing. You don't have to do that.
Ah, so you're kind of getting a little flare.
Yeah, I just liked that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. And then I'm just going to
Take
flatten
care of
this
your
out.
rib.
Yeah, I'm going to flatten this out because that's going to be where we... So I don't know if you guys remember when I did that hollow, you know, when I opened it up and it was 2 pieces and it kind of made that donut for like the,
I'm giving her that look like,
Yeah.
what?
you know, like when I did the totem pole donut thing, the round things.
Oh, right.
So this is kind of like that. So think of just isolate this. Just like when we're doing a chip and dip bowl, you're going to forget about this piece right now and you're just going to think about this piece. And so I'm going to support it with this hand and I'm going to start going down.
So you're going to go ahead and put in the gallery.
I am, just because I felt like you could, if you're a little bit off center when you join these together, it's so much harder to do this.
Ah.
So I might tighten it up a little bit with a trimming tool once I got it together.
So you're supporting it underneath
I
and
am.
you're using your pinky.
To just go down to get that deep thing. And then I'll go back and refine that with just the end of my knife tool. Which if anyone's throwing it home, that should come with your basic beginner tool set. And if you don't have one, Michael sells them. Because everybody should just have the beginner tool set that has the metal rib. And I'm just pushing down to get that wide. And then I'm going to pull up once I've got that. So now I've got this nice gallery. So now...
And you want that inner rim to stick up a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to try to match these so they're almost like this. So I'm going to actually pull this up a little bit. So now this is where the finessing comes. So now I'm going to just kind of come in and pull that up. And that's just giving me a deeper gallery. And I'm going to come down to the bottom of that chunk of clay that we...
So you're doing a mini pull there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this pot. This part of the pot as its own little individual pot. And then I'm just going to bring that up. So now that's getting nice and deep, so it'll hold water. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This is the tricky one, I think.
Yeah, because it's kind of floating out there in space.
It doesn't have the support, so it's just kind of like you're bringing it up. And, you know, use whatever finger you think will work best for that. I'm using my pinky right now. And I'm using 2 fingers to pull it to. And then you can just kind of see like I'm going down a little bit, so that means I need to bring that up a little bit more. And if you just take your time, you'll get there. This is not a I've seen the guys that do these for Etsy, and they take a long time to get everything just right on this. Because if you notice, this is kind of going out now, so I'll straighten that up. So once we get and that's almost there.
So I think we should be flattered that Yvonne thinks that we all can do this. I'm wondering
You can
how
do
many
it.
times we're going to have to do it
do
in
it.
failures.
Well, what you might want to do is put a smaller piece of clay on first, you know, and just practice this part.
Yeah.
Because it's really just a pot unto itself, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's like throwing one of those donut things.
It is, but you're not going to close it.
Right. And I haven't been successful at that, so.
Well,
Oh my.
closing it's the hardest part on the donut thing. So this is actually easier because you're just bringing it up. That's almost the height I want. I'm going to do one more pull. And if it gets uneven, you can just use your pin tool, I'm sure, to get it back to where it is. And I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. And then I'm just going to see where we are. Yeah, that looks pretty even. Okay, so then next thing I'm going to do is, so now I'm going to undercut this because of course this is going to go on the other pot. And I'm just going to kind of tighten that up because that got moved a little bit when I was creating that. And we'll let this firm up before we put it on the other pot. But that's pretty good. That's actually better than my first one. So I'm happy with that because that's a really deep well.
So did you all hear that she broke her beautiful pot?
Yes, in our Zoom meeting. It was sad. So back to...
So you're undercutting it and then you'll wire it off.
And then I'll wire it off and then we're going to let it get to about leather hard. So we'll do that while Judy's working on her pot. And then I'm just going to undercut that.
And there we go.
And then the last thing, so shut that one off and then I'm going to show you how to do the weights.
Okay.
Before we...
But meanwhile, I have to show them so they can cry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And now
Not
it won't
fixable.
work. It won't, because you need that well to
Yeah.
hold the water. So
I'll
there
put
you
a
go.
napkin in it or something.